What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are getting ready for tomorrow's John boat tournament, so I figured I would bring you guys along and share with you some of the preparations that I take to get ready for a tournament, and then we have to do a couple other odd jobs throughout the day. I've got my boy Eric with me. He is behind the camera today. You guys are gonna get to meet him today as well. He's gonna tell you a little bit about himself. But just got out of Dick's. Really just came here for one thing. Needed some bobber stops. Gonna be hopefully a flip vest tomorrow, so I'm gonna need these to get into that tight cover. And funny story, over the last 3 days I've been to 3 different Dick's Sporting Goods trying to find 20-pound Seaguar. Yesterday I was on the way back from fishing with Billy. We stopped at 2 on the way up 95. Neither of them had any fluorocarbon line whatsoever. And then when I was leaving the second store, I walked out and I see Billy hanging out at the boat with 2 other people, and I walked up and realized it's my boy Enzo. He was like, "What were you looking for in there?" I was like, "I was looking for a Seaguar." He's like, "In Vizex?" I was like, "Yeah. Come on, come to my truck." And he literally had a box of unopened 20-pound Seaguar in Vizex, which is gonna save me for tomorrow because we're gonna need it. But we're on our way to Home Depot now. We need to get some stuff to patch up the John boat because we got some serious cracks in there. And then we're gonna get the boat ready, rig up some rods, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens. You guys get to meet Eric or something. Let's go. Made it home. Went to Home Depot, went to Dick's Sporting Goods, and now we're gonna start taking care of the boat first. So we're just putting a little band-aid on this thing. Got 2 huge cracks in the back of the boat. I've just been spreading JB Weld all over these cracks until they start leaking again, but again, just putting a band-aid on it. Ultimately, I just need to take it in and get them welded. And this is, I really think, from just use, to be honest. Not many people tow their John boats 30,000 miles. And I really think it's just from bouncing on the trailer bunks over time, creating those cracks just in a weak point. But it is what it is. I just need to get it re-welded. But for tomorrow's tournament, I need to make sure that these are a little bit sealed up because there is way too much water coming into this boat right now. And with that extra water, and we're trying to go spot to spot as quickly as possible, and the boat being slow already, it's not a good thing.
Just doing a little scraping here. Trying to get as much of the old JB Weld off to get a little bit of a better seal on there. Hopefully make it last a little bit longer. Just a tiny bit.
Just another week.
Just another week. That's all we need. That's all we need. That's all I need. Another week. Can you see daylight?
Yeah, I can see straight through it. Water just dripped through it onto the lens. That's terrible.
Oh yeah, get that good old B-roll of the JB Weld going right in there. Yeah.
She's looking cleaner. I don't know who put all that JB Weld on here, but that dude had no idea what he was doing. It was me. Thanks to Eric's help, we've got a bunch of JB Weld on these 2 cracks. Got them sealed up pretty good. Gonna give them about 30 minutes. Do you think we need to put another little
maybe that right one will give a little more love to.
Yeah, just a little bit of love to it. But we're gonna let them dry. Gonna clean up the boat a little bit. I'm actually gonna move these 2 trolling motor batteries up to the front of the boat. I liked them in the back for a little bit. I got better top end, but then when you add the live well and Ace and all of our gear, and live well being full, we were only pushing like 12.5 to 13 miles an hour. So I remember when the batteries are up front, we were getting 16, 17-ish. I'm gonna go ahead and take everything apart and throw everything up there while this dries. And I think after that, probably just rip some rods out. We're gonna go over setting up all the rods and reels, line, baits for tomorrow. It's hot in here. It's like an oven. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's juicy.
Oh.
See all that? She leaks, boys. This is actually a jumper cable. You can use these to run your trolling motor wires. Super thick, like 6 gauge. It worked fine for, I think, 6 months or so, so worked for me. But since I'm moving the batteries up, I wanted to shorten that cable down. Didn't really have to do it, but I just decided to go ahead and do so. Trying to rewire this, hanging out in the middle of my boat, and then after we get this buttoned up, we should tell everybody your story, how you got here to start filming for me, and then we'll get to the rods.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, we wired. Damn, now I definitely can't do it. We rewired the trolling motor connection, so now I'm just dropping these batteries back in to the battery pans that we had put in. These batteries are actually like, I'll say a 1/16 of an inch bigger than the last one, so they sit kind of funny in here, but it'll work.
you're not gonna have to deal with them for too much longer.
I got a present coming I'm pretty excited about. Gonna save me about 90 pounds out of this boat. Come on. Like, dude, it's so close. Can you see that back pin?
Yeah.
Like, it just needs like that much more, but they'll be fine. They're not going anywhere. Maybe they are going somewhere. It's like an oven in this thing. I mean, with the water, it's like a slow cooker. They're smoking me in here. We took a much needed beer break, but we got everything done. Got the batteries moved up to the front. Got the JB Weld sealing those cracks, putting the band-aid on, and now we're gonna go get the rods out, start spooling them up, getting everything ready for the tournament tomorrow. But first, before we do that, we need to turn the camera around to our cameraman Eric and ask him the story. How did you even end up here? Tell me the full rundown.
Well, you know, it's like anything, you know, like I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of came down here after a job that, you know, I was gonna make a run at, like doing the federal stuff, like work on Capitol Hill, you know, all the dreams that you think are super cool when you go to school as a wildlife guy up in the middle of nowhere up in Maine. You know, I went to the University of Maine, so came down here to the big city, and you know, my girlfriend works around here, so it was an easy transition. And I sent Matt an email one day because, you know, my job was all over the place with the COVID and working from home and everything like that, and I just decided, you know, I'll send Matt an email. You know, see what happens, see if he even replies. Turns out Matt was in need of a guy to hold the camera, you know, a guy to maybe do a little bit of editing here and there. And, you know, while I don't really have an editing degree or experience, you know, I'm just like, sure, I'll come help out, I'll try and I'll learn. And, you know, that's kind of where I'm at here. I'm here learning and I'm here having a good time. So hopefully we get to do this for a while, you know.
Oh, yeah. Bring
you guys some really good content.
We've got all of our rods. We're gonna start setting these things up. So I need to respool both of these with the 20-pound Seaguard and Vizix that I was telling you about. Both of these are gonna be my flipping rods. So I'm gonna throw half-ounce jig on this. This is a Dobbins 746. I like flipping with the 746 because it's a little bit shorter. I'm a short dude, so flipping it makes it a little bit easier. Then I have a 765 flip. Both of these Dobbins. Gonna respool both of these with 20-pound Seaguard. This is gonna get a probably 3/8 ounce Texas rig with some sort of creature bait on it. And every other rod over here has good line. I either recently respooled it or it's just good to go, or the braid. We're gonna re-rig all of these with new baits too, and just make sure that they have fresh knots. It's very important. I want to be able to wake up, drive down to the ramp tomorrow, launch the boat, not have to worry about tying anything on, and then once we get out to the first spot, it's game time. I have every bait in my mind for the style of fishing that we're doing tomorrow is just ready to go. So spooled up both of the rods with 20-pound tests. Everything else is good, so I'm gonna start rigging everything up here. I'm picking up a half-ounce straight black Dirty Jigs flipping jig. Now the reason I'm going with this, hopefully tomorrow, after you guys saw, we're gonna go back real quick. If you saw the last video when I was out with Eric, we were out on the res. We went up into the river, into that dirtier water, and where it's like a little bit of current, but we were catching fish really shallow in really tight cover. But I mean, completely different than down lake. Down lake you probably had 3.5, close to 4 feet of visibility, whereas up lake you had 6 inches to maybe a foot in some spots. But that's going to bring the fish up a little bit shallower and tighter to the cover. And personally for me, I mean, if you guys have seen any of my videos, you know how much I love flipping, you know how much I love fishing shallow, tight cover like that. It's my favorite style of fishing. It's something I'm more comfortable doing as opposed to going down lake and trying to fish deep and, you know, drag shaky heads or Carolina rigs, football jigs. And we caught fish, so that's all I have to go off of. I haven't been out there since Wednesday, so that's why we're gonna throw this straight black jig. I'm gonna grab a Carl's Amazing Baits chunk to throw on the back of that. That's gonna be one of my flipping baits for sure. So we're gonna tie this on real quick. Two hours later. All right, we got everything rigged up here, and I'm gonna try to rapid fire through these for you guys. So first up, this is gonna be the first thing that I pick up tomorrow morning. This is a black half-ounce buzzbait. I had to put a horny toad on the back because of the trailer that came with this, which I believe this is a War Eagle buzzbait. not 100%. I think I stole this from my buddy Trevor, but the old trailer came off, so we threw this bad boy on there. It looks good. The rod that it's set up on, 7.3 medium heavy, 40-pound braid, and high-speed gear ratio reel. Just cleaned this reel too. It sounds phenomenal. I'm so stoked that we went through and did that. But yeah, top water to start the morning off. Next up, we're gonna go through the moving baits real quick. Got a white chatterbait on. The white creates this crazy orb in dirtier water. I'm gonna use this around some of the wood and grass, and when we're fishing those shallow flats and just running down the bank. I think tomorrow's gonna be a lot of running and gunning. So I wanna be able to switch between flipping a jig or Texas rig and the chatterbait or spinnerbait really quickly. And you know, I might make 5 casts with this tomorrow. I might make 15 casts with this tomorrow, or I might catch every fish with this bait tomorrow. I don't know, but I wanna have it rigged up just in case. This is a very secret crankbait that I can't even show you guys. It's going to be rigged up on this rod. 7.4 medium moderate action rod, medium heavy moderate action rod, which is probably a little bit on the bigger side for a square bill. I like to go a little bit smaller and maybe a little bit faster action, but this is what I've been throwing them on and catching them. And once you pin a fish with this rod, it's not going anywhere because of that moderate action. I really like it. 12-pound fluorocarbon, Corrado DC. I'll be rigging that up later. You guys can watch the tournament video if you want to see what crankbait's going on there. All right, up to the 7.4 medium heavy fast action. This is just a perfect all-around rod with the Terminator spinnerbait on there. Going with the Indiana blade. It's going to give it a little bit more thump than just your straight willow leaf. Chartreuse and white, stands out really good in dirty water. 15-pound test, and the Shimano Corrado, which love this thing. This is favorite reel of all time. I guess I forgot the DC part of that. It is a DC. It doesn't need to be a DC, I don't think, but that's for another video. All right, now to the flipping baits. These are gonna be, I believe, the most important baits for tomorrow. Got the 1/2 ounce dirty jigs, all black, with the Carl's Amazing Baits chunk trailer on there. I want something that's really dark. It's gonna have a bigger profile and it's gonna get the fish's attention when I'm flipping around all that heavy cover. So that's what I rigged up with the 765. Even though I did tell you guys earlier I was gonna rig this up on the 746, I switched them up. This is what I was catching them on the other day. This is what I'm sticking with. 20-pound fluorocarbon line, high-speed gear ratio, Corrado, and this, between this rod and this rod, I don't think either of these are gonna be out of my hands very long tomorrow. But second to last rod, Dobbins 746, rigged that up with a 3/8 ounce pegged Texas rig, black and blue bandito bug from Guggen Baits. If you guys want to check out some Guggen Baits, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below. You can save yourself 15% off of anything on the site. I believe it's the entire order actually, so don't forget to check that link out. Last but not least, and this is like the last thing I want to be throwing tomorrow, but if I have to pick it up I will, and I'll have it ready. This is the Dobbins 7.1 medium rod, perfect for shaky heads. Got a 1/4 ounce hard hat jigs shaky head on here from Shop Carl's, which I'll also leave down in the description below. Got that rigged up with a South African Special trick worm and a Shimano Stratic. 20-pound test to 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And again, that's like, this is very last option. I don't want to have to throw this tomorrow, but if I do, I will. So we got everything rigged up. I think that about covers it for the day. What do you think, Eric?
I think that's what you're gonna do tomorrow, and you're gonna stick some absolute pigs on it.
I really hope so. It's been a long day. This took like way longer than I thought. He showed up at 1. It is currently 6:13. It's been a long day, but we got everything ready. I mean, just throw the rods in the van. I think that's about it. We got a lot of work done today, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, and if you, again, enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. And leave Eric a comment too. Let me know what you think about his filming. I think it's pretty damn good. So, see you guys on the next one.